it was funny because he was bullying some other kid. Kind of messed up. The other kid he was bullying, he tried to stand up for himself and he got beat up by him. What up, y'all? So make sure y'all go subscribe to my YouTube channel. As far as my personal channel that I'm gonna start uploading on soon. Um, it's gonna come soon. I'm just loading up on the videos. I'm gonna start uploading pretty soon. But also make sure you guys book a free consultation with me. I'm an online fitness coach. Got plenty of experience. Working out since like 2008. I guess that's kind of like the year where I started to develop a lot of my interests that are still with me today. Like I started with Myers-Briggs back then. Started working out. That was two interests I still stick with today. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, um, I'm gonna leave a link below for you to book a free consultation. Don't miss out. But anyways, let me talk about, man, it's some weird assumptions people make when you're introverted. Like you're just naturally quiet, soft spoken like myself. I've always been naturally soft spoken and quiet. Um, Now over time I've learned to be less shy. I don't think I'm as shy as I used to be. Like I don't think I'm really that shy at all anymore, but I still am quiet. It's just because I'm naturally quiet. Now, if I want to go start a conversation with somebody, it's not very hard for me. Um, I can approach, like if I want to approach a girl, I have a very high success rate usually when I approach girls. Let's put it like that. I don't have a problem approaching a girl. I do have decent social skills, actually. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, because I noticed that because I was watching this video, right? It was talking about this guy was walking up to girls and approaching girls, and people was in the comments like, "Man, this dude has like zero social anxiety. He's so brave. I could never walk." And I'm thinking like, man, I could walk up to girls like that. I could walk up to people like that if I really want to, but I don't always have the energy. It's very draining though. I can do it. I'm thinking like, yeah, that's not very much out of my realm. I can do it. It's just exhausting. Um, but yeah, also too, like people do start conversations with me usually though. Um, People pick up on that introverted energy. They think like, okay, maybe I could. He's one of those people you just got to start talking to first. Sometimes that too, because I don't always, I'm not always in that mood, and I do have moments where I am shy here from time to time. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like it was when I was like in high school or growing up. Got rid of a lot of that shyness. But a lot of times, man, some of the assumptions people make about you when you just naturally quiet, I would say one is they'll think you're arrogant. Oh, you think you better than everybody. That's typical. Especially if you're not like, if you don't look like a weirdo, or um people look at me and they assume like I would be extroverted just because I'm not like nerdy looking. You know what I'm saying? They'll think if you got nerdy looking, they'll think that you're supposed to be this extroverted person. Sometimes. But yeah, it's more of a high school mentality. Like when people like look at introverts in a negative light, it's usually like some high school stuff. People that are immature look at it like that. In high school, that's kind of like a high school thing. You get out of high school, you're supposed to learn at that point that some people are just naturally introverted. But anyway, people will assume you're arrogant. Oh, he think he better than everybody because he don't talk. Like if you're in a work environment or something like that, people think you're arrogant just because you don't want to make friends at work. Things like that. Um, when it's not the case at all, you know what I'm saying? I'm not arrogant. I'm pretty sure people may think that, but I'm definitely, like most people know I'm not arrogant. You know what I'm saying? I'm a pretty humble dude for the most part. I am very confident though. I have a high level of confidence, but I'm not arrogant. Like, another assumption, this is one that really blew me. Like, I just could not wrap my head around this assumption. But I came across this assumption, and it kind of was one of those things where I was like, oh, that's what a lot of people think. I had no idea until maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, out of all my years of living. There are people that think when you're quiet that you're dumb. Like it took me the long. I never would a million years would have thought that's what people would assume, but that's just what it is. I guess maybe my low FE, but people actually think you're dumb if you're quiet too. Like they think you don't if you don't talk much. A lot of people might assume that you just don't have like nothing going on in your head. That's dumb. I don't understand where that comes from, but there are people that literally think that. Just ignorant, immature people, of course. But yeah, I came across that because somebody actually tried to call me dumb one time. I'm talking to somebody. It was a little bit of a problem, right? Ended up exiting the conversation, but they tried to call me dumb. They thought they tried to assert that because I don't talk much to them, I'm dumb or something. I'm like, what? Where did that come from? But yeah, this person was very just dumb. I didn't even have to do nothing. I just like I stopped talking to him, and then I look up, and then karma got them. But anyways, like they ended up getting hit by karma. They were just an immature person. They were older than me too, and I'm like, how are you this immature? And but anyways, that's when I came across. I'm like, wow, some people really do think that. And then I started reflecting. I'm thinking like, okay, that's why in some of these situations I'm reflecting on, they were acting like that. But people do actually think you're dumb if you're not talkative. I always thought that people would know, like, if you don't talk a lot, it must be because you got a lot of knowledge. But they don't really. A lot of people, some people don't think that. I don't know where that comes from. That's like one that blew me away. What's another assumption that people have when you're introverted? Sometimes people think you're introverted, but sometimes if you're introverted, people think that you're like you're scared of them or something. Like this more happens like in school, but you can get the people like this, like what you gonna talk about like bullies. You can get this as an adult too, believe it or not. But people will think that you're like scared of them or something like that if you don't talk a lot, if you don't say nothing to them. They'll think you like an easy target and you won't know how to defend yourself or something like that, or verbally defend yourself. That happened. That happens more like in school. I've had that happen a few times. I had a couple people, man. I think mostly in middle school. I had a few people that tried me. I was never like I was always say I don't get bullied because I'm not scared of nobody. I'm not gonna be scared of you, so you can't bully me. Um, Now I've had like maybe in middle school. I think mostly in like freshman year of high, a few people would try me because I was a skinny kid. So even though I was tall, I was always taller than everybody. If y'all don't know, I'm 6'5". I'm pretty tall. Always been on the taller side, but I was real skinny, real soft spoken. So I would get a couple. Sometimes I would get people trying me. I remember this one guy that used to try to bully me, like when I was in elementary school too. He tried to bully me when I was like in the first grade. At that time, it kind of caught me off guard. I didn't know how to process it. I say I could kind of like, um, because he tried to like boss me around. We was in the first grade. He was like one of the few people that was taller than me too. So I guess he thought like I don't know. Maybe he felt a little intimidated because like he was like I was like the second tallest person in the class. He was the tallest. He's like a little bit taller than me. I guess I don't know. Maybe he thought it was like I don't know. Maybe it made him feel. Maybe he wanted to be the tallest, and so I don't know. I don't know what his problem was, but yeah, he tried me. He used to bully other people too, though. He did used to bully other people. It was kind of messed up because in middle school, after this is far long after he didn't bully, long after the bullying stopped. Because I'm gonna get to that. But it was funny because he was bullying some other kid. Kind of messed up. The other kid he was bullying, he tried to stand up for himself and he got beat up by him, which kind of messed up. But anyways, back to where that ended with me and him. He used to bully me. He used to try to bully me. It didn't work. Then when we get to the sixth grade, I didn't see him for a few years. I didn't have any classes with him till I got to like the sixth grade, and then um, he would try to. I kept hearing that he was talking about me or something like that. My friends were telling me he was talking about me, and then back then, this was back when we was putting people on three way. You know, people used to do the three-way thing. We used to talk on the phone a lot. Somebody put him on the phone with me. I kept hearing him talk. He was talking about me or whatever. I confronted him. I'm like, bro, like if you got a problem with me, we can meet tomorrow morning in the little. It was like a courtyard or something. I told him we can meet tomorrow morning. If you want to fight, let's do it. Because he was telling me he want to fight me and this and that. And it's like kid stuff, right? So I stood up to him. I'm like, hey, so I stood up to him. Next day he didn't show up. We said we was gonna meet this place at this time. He just didn't show up. And then after that, I didn't have no problems with him after that. It's funny because then we get to high school. I'm like way taller than him. He he stopped growing very early. He was taller than everybody and he stopped growing. He ended up being like he only like 5'10" or something. Now I'm like 6'5" now. I remember I had a class with him like senior year and I looked at him. I was just remembering. He looked kind of like damn, like excuse my language. I think he thought about it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, I used to try to pick on him. Now I look at him, he's way bigger than me. But anyways, stuff like that though. People will try to pick on you, think you just like easy target if you're quiet. I'm trying to think of other some. Those are like the main three, I think. because I didn't write none of this down, but I think those are the main three. That's just dumb, man. Those are just kind of the assumptions. Some of the assumptions you would get being quiet, being introverted. Now there's this new thing now on the internet. They make it to a thing now to where it's not as frowned upon to be an introvert because I guess more people are a little more educated about it. It seems like now even extroverts, it seems like now extroverts want to be introverted now. Like there's some extroverts that envy introverts now all of a sudden, even though some years back people made it seem like it was a bad thing to be introverted. Another thing too, this is another one I almost forgot. This is amongst dudes. Like sometimes dudes will think because you're introverted, you must not get no girls or something like that. Like, which is dumb. I've had people assume that about me. And if you guys don't know me, I don't have no problem getting girls. I've never really had an issue. I got girls, but really it aids me. Like, the thing though is people will think that because they think like being real extroverted and stuff is what gets girls. Not necessarily always the case. The thing is, with me being quiet always helped me out with getting girls. It made me mysterious, naturally mysterious. Girls love that. They like when the dude is mysterious. That's what it did for me. It made me mysterious. Um, and also, I mean, I would be kind of awkward, and I'd still get girls. Girls actually would kind of like it, like me being a little bit awkward. Which is kind of weird. It's like I wasn't too awkward, but I have awkward moments, but it never would. Girls would still like it. You know what I'm saying? As long as I don't say nothing too awkward. Now you do get it depends on the girl. Some girls do prefer the more extroverted dude. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like most girls, in my experience, I never had an issue with it. But you get dudes thinking that it'll be dudes like those kind of douchebag dudes that like all about um I don't know, those douchebag dudes that are always hitting on girls 24/7. You know, they'll think that you don't get girls just because you're not extroverted, you're not talkative, most soft spoken. And then sometimes they'll get mad because they don't get it. Like, why does girl like him? He don't even talk. You know, they get mad about it sometimes too. But that's another dumb assumption you get. You just naturally introverted. People just think that you don't know how to talk to girls. I don't have no problem talking to girls. I could talk to girls probably with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? I know what to say usually. So that's another dumb assumption. Um, so that's four assumptions I just kind of did on the fly. But those are just some of the dumb assumptions you get for being like naturally quiet, soft spoken. Um, yeah. If you guys got any more assumptions you gotten for being naturally introverted, because I think a lot of my subscribers are natural introverts. Feel free to comment below. But yeah, I just thought that would be interesting to talk about. Because it blew my mind. I'll tell you this. Some of these assumptions, I'm like, why do people think like this? Like it's just having low FE. That's what it does for me. Because sometimes I'm very surprised about how people look at things in general. Because I can't predict it a lot of times. I can't predict what people are gonna think about certain things sometimes. So it's like stuff like that surprises me. And it fascinates me. I'm like, well, how did y'all get that? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content. What up? Got a few bonus ones I actually forgot to mention, but two more things people assume when you're introverted. People would think you're easy to manipulate. Like they think you won't be aware of their manipulation. And these two are gonna kind of tie in together. But I get that too. People sometimes think I'm easy to manipulate or something just because I'm quiet. Like I don't be paying attention. They don't understand how observant you are either. That's another one. But I don't know. Also, they don't realize how observant you are, which goes into that. You know, like they think like extroverted people are gonna know more about being manipulated and things like that. Another thing too, this is my last one. People also assume um, that you won't know how to stand up for yourself, which kind of goes into one of what I already said, but this more so goes to like if somebody's doing something to disrespect you, like as far as you checking them or saying you have a problem with something. Sometimes they'll think that you won't have the ability to do that if you're introverted. But yeah, those are just some things. But these are my last one. These are bonus ones. But anyways.